How important do you put on an NDA? It's not a turnoff to an investor?
Frankly speaking, I've been doing it for a long, long time, right?
Yeah,
An NDA is not worth the paper it's written on, right?
I didn't think so.
It's not worth the paper it's written on. How many times have people go, "Oh, I want an NDA signed"? How many times do you know where that NDA has gone after you? You've got this NDA signed, right? Great. What does
Yep.
it do? Do you know that person you spoke to 6 weeks ago? Who else he sent it to? No one knows. The only time an NDA I would say would be beneficial if you've got some kind of intellectual property that you've
Sure.
patented, or there's really something that you can't have someone copy. You know, look at what you're doing, right? Someone wants to copy this. Someone wants to copy this. Great. All the best of luck, because it's a huge investment. It's got a lot of time. It takes a lot of info. It's something where they're not going to really be in a position where they can go and replicate this overnight.
Sure.
You look at Mindbit. So like, if I was to send scale up CFO stuff, I'd never bother with an NDA, because what exactly am I really giving? The prices I have are online. My strategy, everything is quite straightforward.
Yep.
So I'm going to go there. I'm doing a couple of things. Number one is I'm wasting time, because I don't want to be wasting investors' time. Number one, is there anything I have in my document that's so confidential that I want protection? Right? Chances are very rare, because everything can be
Yeah.
copied. The other bit, so I'll give it on the NDA. I'll talk another thing, right? So I've got staff working with me, right? I can get NDA signed, which standard practice anyway. Is the NDA worth anything? It's not, because someone can go and sign up to my course now, pay the $1,000, and they've got all the material on my course. So why am I going to bother with somebody who can go buy for a
Yes.
thousand? I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my
Right.
resource. I'm wasting my
Yeah.
energy. Same thing on NDA. And what you actually find is some investors actually do get a bit peeved off signing an NDA, because it's wasting their time. Unless you've got like Adobe Acrobat, the sign for Adobe does, and it's very easy. Otherwise, for me to waste my time to go in to basically go and sign is not really worth my hassle.
Good.
So the
Okay.
NDA for me is always something where you make a judgment call. Is what you have in your NDA that confidential that if someone has it, could you have huge impacts on you? The majority chances are very, very rare. Now, I'll tell you what, I've sent out loads of one related to me. So if I'm working in the company and saying, I want an NDA, they want an NDA. Anything I've sent. Now, say for example, when I had CJET we had a lot of IP in it. There was a lot we were patenting. There was a lot of stuff that we're patenting. There's a lot of things we're trademarking. There's a lot of confidential things within that, because it was deep tech. It was going to take 3 years to build. There was a lot of technical things in there. There's a lot of
Okay.
confidential things in there. And we launched something. We were launching something that had never been done before. So because it never been done before, there was nothing really there that, in the market, there was a precedent. So we got an NDA signed because that was for our protection. Now, the reason for that was because there was a lot of information we had on our pricing or going to charge, because it was something we brought out. It was the first, fully electric CFE tool in the market. So for that one, yes, if I take up Scale Up CFO right now, the course I'm doing, I'm not even bothered signing with my staff just now, because anything within it, they will basically go and they could copy. The only thing I'm going to get an NDA signed for is, as I build on my team, is that when we have our strategy meetings, if it's something we're talking strategically or something we're confidential, at that point in time I want then an NDA to kick in. But
Right.
what's the protection of my course?
Yeah.
Wayne, you've done this course, right? Now you've got access to my videos. How do I know you've not circulated and created Ways CFO Hub, and you're kind of doing the stuff on the side? It's easily replicated.
It is. You're right.
It's
Yeah.
easily
I
replicated.
didn't think it really was, and I didn't want to and start initiating a turnoff with an NDA, because I mean, if they get into it any deeper, they're going to see what's intellectual property and what's not, and they just
No,
can't go.
the only bit there is that for you, if your all your electronic stuff, if there's patented stuff that you have, or really IP that no one really knows how it works, at that point in time I would turn and say, yes, an NDA for you is something that you need, because you're protecting something that you don't want someone to copy. because it's something that's your intellectual property. If it came out, someone might copy it. You see, the difference in my bit is there's no intellectual property. A
Sure.
business plan is the same thing. A teaser is the same thing. So anyone can copy my course, and the 10,000 of them. Does it make a difference? No, it doesn't. But because of your your animatronics that you have, it could be something in there that you've got, which is your trade secret and how you do it. It's like a recipe. A recipe. If you
Right.
got,
Right.
you won't want to bring it out. If you did, you'd want an NDA out for it. We had to share our designs of what our stuff looked like for the C-Jet that I was talking about. So we had to get an NDA signed because we were sharing very, very confidential information that the
Yeah.
market didn't really have access to. So that's
Can
where you
you
have to
do an
make that judgment
NDA?
call.
Can you do an NDA after the pitch deck when they start looking at a business plan? Can you like do it then?
Yes. So the way you could do is, and again, if there's nothing confidential, then you don't need a teaser. You can just go straight with your pitch deck. You can send a teaser and a pitch deck if you wanted. But the way I
Hmm.
would do is I would just send the pitch deck straight out. I wouldn't bother with a teaser then. I would just send a pitch deck straight out, arrange that meeting, say, look, I've got all this in my business plan, but I hope you don't mind because there's a lot of confidential intellectual property.
Yeah.
Before I send you the business plan, can you sign an NDA? At that point in time, it makes sense because if somebody's gone that far, they'll be willing to sign an NDA because they'll
Yeah.
respect why you're selling an NDA. But for a pitch deck and those kind of things where there's nothing really in it, I wouldn't really bother with because all you do is you're
Okay.
wasting time. They'll send it back to you. You'll sign it. They'll go back. It isn't really worth it. Send out your
Good.
pitch deck. It is what it is, And I said, until that point where you're sharing really confidential information, there's not really anything there that
No.
someone can really
Good.
copy.
Yeah. That's it. That's what I wanted to know when the right time would be.
Mhm. Exactly. And I think that time is just when you're sharing something that that the market does not know. It's a trade secret, or is something that is unique to you. That's a goodwill, that's a patent, that's a trademark that you do not want them to be able to then kind of share elsewhere. I'd get the NDA signed.